Maybe you clicked on this video because you have wondered, what exactly is it about BTS? They debuted more than a decade ago, yet new people continue discovering them and becoming ARMY. Their fans are known for being loyal, organized, and highly supportive. They stream the music, attend concerts, translate content, organize projects, and remain connected even during quieter periods. From the outside, that level of devotion can seem overwhelming. Some people call it obsession. Others even compare ARMY to a cult. But those labels do not explain why people from different ages, professions, cultures, and countries continue finding BTS, and why casual curiosity often develops into a connection that lasts for years. And to be fair, when you only see the loudest moments online, the intensity of the fandom can seem overwhelming. But simply calling it a cult does not explain anything. That word is usually used to suggest that BTS fans follow everything blindly, that they are too devoted, too defensive, or too emotionally attached. What makes people stay is how the music, art, journey, values, and community work together. But before those deeper connections can develop, something first has to capture their attention. And with BTS, that starting point is different for everyone. BTS has many entry points. There is no single way to discover BTS. Some people are drawn to their pop songs. Others enter through hip-hop, vocals, choreography, visual art, fashion, humor, or social commentary. Each member also offers a different entry point. RM may attract people through his lyrics, leadership, and reflections on identity. Jin through his humor, sincerity, and emotional warmth. Suga through his honesty about ambition, fear, exhaustion, and struggle. J-Hope through his energy, discipline, and performance. Jimin through his expressive movement and emotional sensitivity. V through his voice, visual style, and artistic interests. Jungkook through his vocals, versatility, and stage presence. Their individual identities attract different people, but those paths eventually lead back to the group. BTS is one team, but not one personality. That variety gives people many reasons to become interested. At the center of everything is the music.
But I had one century, and that was music.
BTS's songs reflect their passion, experiences, and values. Their early work addressed pressure on young people, the expectation to succeed, follow a predetermined path, and meet standards created by others. As they grew older, their music expanded into themes of ambition, loneliness, identity, burnout, self-acceptance, fame, responsibility, and adulthood. Their music grew as they did. That allows listeners to return to BTS at different stages of life. A teenager may connect with a song about school pressure. Years later, the same person may understand a song about exhaustion, uncertainty, or losing direction. The listener changes, and the meaning changes with them. This is one reason ARMY includes people from many generations. You do not outgrow questions about identity, self-worth, or belonging. Those questions simply appear in different forms as you grow older.
Looking back, I think that's when I began to worry about what other people thought of me and starting seeing myself through their eyes. I stopped looking up at the night skies, the stars. I stopped daydreaming. Instead, I just tried to jam myself into the malls that other people made.
BTS's artistry does not end with the song. Their music videos, album concepts, and stage visuals often include symbolism, literature, mythology, psychology, and references connecting different eras. A viewer may first notice that a music video looks beautiful. Then they begin asking, what does that object mean? Why was that location chosen? Is this scene connected to an older song? What does the visual story add to the lyrics? One question leads to another song, another album, or another cultural reference. BTS often leaves room for interpretation, instead of giving one simple answer. That allows listeners to bring their own experiences into the art. ARMY does not only watch. Fans analyze, discuss, research, and connect the pieces. The art turns listening into exploration.
What excites you and makes your heart beat? Tell me your story. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your conviction.
BTS's performances are another major reason people become fans. They do not simply repeat what was recorded in the studio. The choreography, live vocals, rap, expressions, staging, and interaction between the members give the songs another emotional layer. Their stages show both artistry and discipline. Fans can see the preparation, physical effort, and attention to detail behind each performance. Sometimes it is the precision that impresses people. Other times it is an imperfect voice, an emotional expression, or a spontaneous moment that makes the stage memorable. The music communicates the message. The music video builds the visual world. The performance brings it to life. ARMY did not only see the result, they saw much of the process.
No one called out my name, and neither did I.
They saw early performances, mistakes, awkward moments, exhaustion, gradual improvement, and periods of uncertainty. Longtime fans witnessed that journey as it happened. New fans can revisit it through years of archived content. That makes BTS's success feel more meaningful. The stadiums matter because people know where they started. The polished performances matter because people have seen the practice behind them. Their success did not appear effortless or guaranteed. They started small, faced doubt, and continued improving. That makes their story relatable. Most people will never experience BTS's level of fame, but they understand what it means to start with little, work hard, make mistakes, and keep going without knowing how the story will end.
Like most people, I've made many and plenty mistakes in my life.
Their authenticity and values build trust. Following BTS's journey is not only inspiring because they succeeded, it is also about seeing what they continued to stand for, despite the pressure, criticism, and obstacles they encountered along the way. Their music and circumstances have changed, but many of their core values remain recognizable. Speak honestly. Question expectations. Think for yourself. Recognize your worth. Accept your imperfections, and keep growing, even when growth is difficult. BTS has expressed these ideas since their early years. More importantly, fans have seen them continue carrying those values as their influence and responsibilities grew.
그러면 어느 순간 이렇게 되어 있어요. 이거는 정말 늘지 않는다고 좌절할 필요도 없고 어느 순간 늘어나 있을 겁니다.
That consistency is an important part of their authenticity. Authenticity does not mean fans know everything about them, or that everything shown publicly is unfiltered. BTS are still public figures with private lives and professional boundaries. What makes them feel authentic is the connection between what they create, what they say, and how they continue to grow. They do not present themselves as fearless or perfect. They acknowledge doubt, pressure, mistakes, and exhaustion. But even when facing setbacks, they continue defending the values expressed through their work. Their message is also not that life is always positive. Their music recognizes loneliness, cruelty, fear, injustice, and disappointment. Instead of denying these realities, BTS asks how people can continue living with hope while acknowledging that darkness exists. You can feel lost and still move forward. You can be successful and still struggle. You can be strong and still need help. That balance makes their message feel honest rather than performative. Fans are not only inspired by what BTS believes, they trust them because they have watched BTS continue choosing those values, even when doing so was difficult. They show imperfection and duality. BTS can be thoughtful, intense, and emotionally vulnerable. They can also be chaotic, playful, and extremely funny. They can appear powerful on stage and uncertain behind the scenes. They can be highly disciplined professionals while still behaving like 7 friends who enjoy teasing one another. That duality makes them relatable. They do not present one fixed version of themselves. There is BTS the artists, BTS the performers, BTS the friends, BTS the comedians, and BTS as 7 people still learning and changing. They show that a person does not have to be only one thing. You can be confident and insecure, serious and playful, successful and unfinished. Their imperfections do not weaken the connection. They make the growth visible.
BTS has become artists performing in those huge stadiums and selling millions of albums right now, but I am still an ordinary 24-year-old guy.
People feel understood and included. Many people find BTS during periods of uncertainty, loneliness, burnout, or low confidence. Then they hear a lyric that expresses something they have struggled to explain. A song cannot solve someone's life, but it can help them understand what they are feeling and remind them they are not alone.
We started to hear remarkable stories from our fans all over the world, how our message helped them overcome their hardships in life and start loving themselves. Those stories constantly remind us of our responsibility.
That is why many fans say they found BTS when they needed them. The song may have existed for years, but they heard it when they were ready to understand it. BTS's message also leaves room for different kinds of people. You do not need to come from one country, age group, or background to find meaning in their work. Different listeners can hear the same song and take away comfort, motivation, acceptance, or permission to change direction. That openness helps BTS cross cultural and generational boundaries.
No matter who you are, where you're from, your skin color, your gender identity, just speak yourself.
BTS does not treat ARMY as an audience completely outside their journey. They create songs for fans, reference shared memories, and repeatedly acknowledge the role ARMY played in their success. This creates a sense of reciprocity. Fans listen, attend concerts, translate content, and support the work. BTS recognizes that support and reflects the relationship in their music and messages. Of course, this is not the same as a personal friendship. 7 people cannot individually know millions of fans, but they can recognize the audience collectively and make that relationship part of their story. Concerts make this especially visible. BTS gives the performance. ARMY responds through singing, fan chants, light sticks, and energy. The audience becomes part of the experience. BTS creates the art, and ARMY gives it another form of life. BTS may attract people, but ARMY often helps them stay.
And our fans have become a major part of this campaign with their action and with their enthusiasm. We truly have the best fans in the world.
The fandom has translators, researchers, educators, fan guides, charity organizers, book clubs, concert groups, and local communities. A new fan does not have to understand everything alone. They can ask where to begin, what a lyric means, or why a moment is important, and another fan will usually help. This creates a cycle. BTS sparks curiosity. ARMY provides context. Context creates deeper understanding. And eventually, the new fan introduces BTS to someone else. The community also carries BTS's values beyond entertainment. Fans organize donations, educational projects, disaster relief, and local support efforts. These projects are often independently created. ARMY takes the positivity and values found in BTS's work and expresses them through action. The message moves from BTS to ARMY, and then from ARMY to other people. That is why ARMY is more than an audience. It is also a network built around shared music, meaning, and values. So, what is it about BTS? Why does ARMY continue growing? It begins with curiosity. A song, performance, music video, or member catches someone's attention. The music gives them something meaningful to connect with. The art encourages them to look deeper. The performances create admiration. The journey creates emotional investment. Their consistent values build trust, and the community creates belonging. That is how casual interest becomes long-term loyalty. The BTS-ARMY relationship is not perfect, and it should never require blind devotion. But it also cannot be dismissed as simple celebrity obsession. For many people, BTS became connected to important periods of their lives. The songs became memories. The performances became inspiration. The members' growth reflected their own growth, and ARMY gave them a community where those experiences could be shared. BTS creates and shares the art. ARMY listens, interprets, supports, and carries the message forward. Together, they continue expressing many of the same values: acceptance, growth, compassion, honesty, hope, and the belief that an imperfect person still deserves to be seen, heard, and loved.
And maybe I made a mistake yesterday, but yesterday's me is still me. Today, I am who I am with all of my faults and my mistakes. Tomorrow, I might be a tiny bit wiser, and that'd be me too. These faults and mistakes are what I am, making up the brightest stars in the constellation of my life.
That may be the real reason people continue becoming ARMY. They are not simply discovering a successful group. They are entering a story that is still growing and finding a place for themselves within it. What first made you curious about BTS? And what made you stay?